It's time that I admit something to you all. I am Lisp-pilled. By that I mean I am obsessed with List-the-Lass and her YouTube channel. She makes amazing videos, and she just recently came out with a video ranking the video games that she played in 2022 on a tier list. And when I saw that, I thought, you're coming home with me. So I'm gonna do it myself. Have I come out with a very limited number of YouTube videos this year? Yes. Am I going to try and correct that in 2023? Maybe. But regardless of how dead this channel has been this year, it would really mean the world to me if you scrolled down and checked if you were subscribed. It just takes a moment. It's free. You can always unsubscribe later. And I'm coming out with my best of the year video next week, so you don't want to miss it. So here we have my tier list. Down below you can see we have my little collection of games, which is not just games that were released this past year, but all the games that I played this past year, including a couple replays. There were a bunch of games that came out in 2022 that I did not even touch. That's because games are expensive. So I had to pick and choose what I wanted to play. Really quick, let's go through the ranking that I set up here. So first off, we have S tier for Stella's faves, A for "Ay, this game rules," B for "not bad," C for "I've seen better." I'm a comedic genius, what can I say? D for "didn't enjoy," and F for "fuck, why did I buy this?" So let's jump right in. First up, we have Zelda Breath of the Wild. If you have not heard of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, where have you been? Are you okay? Welcome back to the land of the living. Breath of the Wild is a classic. I think I would get crucified if I didn't sing the praises of this game, and I have no reason not to. It is one of my absolute favorite games of all time. I did play it when it first came out in 2017, and I tried to replay it a little bit later on my own, but it did lose a little bit of the magic of exploration, which is basically the entire game. I had climbed every mountain and gone to every corner of the map of Hyrule in this game after my first playthrough, so replaying it, there was really no more exploration for me to do, but playing it on stream did recapture some of that magic because I was showing it to people who hadn't explored every inch of the map, and so I was able to show people all the little hidden secrets that I knew and loved, but they didn't. It would be a criminal crime if I didn't put this in S tier, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Next up, we have Cult of the Lamb, which I feel like is also gonna go in S tier. This honestly might be my game of the year. Cult of the Lamb is a roguelike game where you play as a cute little lamb, building up your following in order to free an eldritch god. The contrast in this game with the cutesy art style and the farming sim mechanics mixed with the spooky story and dialogue options is so good. Beyond that, I think what made this game 10 times more fun was playing it on stream, because within the game there is a Twitch integration where your chatters can join your cult as followers. There were also other things within the integration where they could use channel points to give you certain things, they could help or hinder you on crusades, and I do think it's that interactivity that really sets this game apart in my mind. But I can pretty confidently say it is probably my game of the year, so I'm going to put it up in S tier as well. Cool start here. Next up, we have Control. Control is an action-adventure supernatural game where you play in the Federal Bureau of Control, a secret government institution that explores the paranormal. On paper, I love everything about this game. You have telepathy powers, it's inspired by the SCP institution stories, which is so cool. It's secret government institutions. I love all that. Mechanically, I struggled so hard with this game. I have it on PC, so I was playing it with keyboard and mouse, and something about it is just really difficult to maneuver, which made it really frustrating to play, unfortunately. I also do feel like this game is a little overhyped. A bunch of my IRL friends have touted this game as the game of all time, and I don't think it lived up to those expectations. I do want to give it another shot, but unfortunately I just didn't really enjoy the gameplay of it. It's pretty slow going and has a kind of strange difficulty curve at the beginning, which really turned me off to it. I've put it down for a few months at this point, so I might pick it back up in the new year and try it with a controller, for lack of a better term. But for now, I think it's gotta go in D tier. Maybe she'll move up the ranks in 2023. I hope she does, because I want to love it as much as my friends do. Next up, we have Deltarune Chapter 2. Deltarune is the sequel to Toby Fox's Undertale, which I'll give myself that badge of honor. I played Undertale on release day, and that is one of my favorite games of all time. And I think you run into a lot of trouble when you love a game that much and then a sequel is released, because you're always hoping that it's gonna live up to your expectations of the original, which Deltarune just doesn't it doesn't do. I think we can objectively say that, but I don't think it's trying to be Undertale either. It follows a more classic RPG style where you are exploring different areas and engage in turn-based combat, which I'm not the biggest fan of. You might see there's like no Pokemon games on here. But I know it plays on those mechanics a little more and twists them and makes it more sort of engaging. I will admit I did not finish chapter 2 either, but I plan on it. For now, I think I'm gonna put it in C tier. I probably will pick it back up and finish it at some point just because I love the characters, the soundtrack slaps, I love the world, but I've seen better. Next up, we have Animal Crossing Happy Home Paradise. If you're like me, at the beginning of the pandemic, you absolutely no-lifed Animal Crossing New Horizons and then put it back down for a while. Happy Home Paradise was the DLC that came out with the Animal Crossing 2.0 update. The premise is you get a job with the Happy Home Academy building vacation homes for villagers across an archipelago of islands, all following different themes and meeting their needs, and I absolutely love this DLC. When the 2.0 update came out, I was really overwhelmed with everything they had introduced, but I think Happy Home Paradise does a good job at metering out your Animal Crossing playtime because you can build one house and then put it down and you see a concrete beginning, middle, and end. Also, this DLC has just totally reignited my love for New Horizons. I started a new island when I bought my new Switch, and I have been working on it actually because of this DLC. It's got me really back into the mode of decorating, you know? Overall, I'm gonna put this under A tier, because it also is pretty slow going. Like, you need to do 30 full houses to unlock the ability to decorate your own villager's home, and I could spend upwards of like 3 hours on one house. Next up, we have our second Zelda game, The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. A Link to the Past is the third game in the Legend of Zelda series, originally on the SNES, but I've been playing it on the Super Nintendo Collection on my Switch. And I didn't play this on stream, I've actually just been playing it on my couch with my roommates, which is very fun. I will say I'm a little biased. This is one of my favorite games of all time and is a replay from this year, but it has been a blast to replay it. Every time I play it, I am always surprised by the difficulty curve in it and how difficult it is to beat some of the bosses towards the end. If you're a fan of the Zelda series and you haven't played Link to the Past, I highly recommend it. You see a lot of the foundational building blocks that last throughout the Legend of Zelda series in this game. I will say it is not my favorite Zelda game of all time. For that reason, I'm putting it in A tier. Hey, this game rules. Next up, we have Perfect Tides. In this game, you play as Mara, a teenage girl living on the island of Perfect Tides. It's a point-and-click coming-of-age story in a pixel art form. I will confess I'm a little biased because a very good friend of mine worked on this game. They did a ton of the art for it. And let me know that the drink machine in the bodega that says Beppis was inspired by me. Putting my biases aside, though, I've been really enjoying this game. The story is really cute. The dialogue feels really rooted in reality. It takes place in the early 2000s, which, if you can see with my little border, has my heart. The characters are so beautifully flawed and frustrating. The one thing about this game that I really struggle with is that I played point-and-click games when I was like a little kid. Like, if you've ever heard of like Pajama Sam and like Putt Putt Goes to the Zoo, those are the type of point-and-click games that I played, which are designed for like little kids. But I obviously know that there were point-and-click games that were for older kids and adults coming out around the same time, and this game follows that style to a T. This game gives you no guides, no tutorials, no help, except for like right at the beginning. So if you don't click on the right thing by the right time, you just miss out on certain aspects of the game, which doesn't take away from the story at all, but I would have liked to see them. I was actually really surprised that not many people know about this game because it made a few year-end lists. Like, I think it made Polygon's year-end list and the AV Club's year-end list. Overall, I'm gonna put it in B tier. Not bad. Next up, we have Stardew Valley Expanded. Obviously, I play a lot of Stardew Valley. If you follow me, especially over on TikTok, I post about Stardew Valley nigh constantly. And Stardew Valley, I have been playing basically since it was released in various different iterations, but this was the first year where I got into Stardew Valley mods. This year, I played over 200 hours of Stardew Valley Expanded, which is probably one of the more popular mods that basically doubles the game's content. This mod includes brand new NPCs, new areas, new storylines, cutscenes, quests, game mechanics, but it feels rooted in the vanilla game. This mod is truly so impressive. I think it has over 1 million downloads, and rightfully so. If you are interested in finding a new way to enjoy Stardew Valley because you're burnt out on it, I would highly recommend Expanded. It is Chef's kiss. I have to put this in S tier. I played it basically every single week for the entire year. Next up, we have The Quarry. I kind of put this on here as a joke because I really did not play much of it. The story behind this was that I was looking for a game to play for my Halloween stream and was suggested The Quarry, which I know a lot of people really love. I do not have the PC specs to play this game. It simply did not run on my computer very well, and the little bit that I did play of it, I really didn't enjoy. The Quarry is a narrative-based horror game that follows a group of camp counselors as they try to explore some wacky paranormal stuff. It follows the Telltale structure, which is a lot of watching cutscenes and then deciding between two options, and then also some QuickTime events. What I found out about myself this year is that I do not want to watch a movie when I want to play a video game. I found that I really want more of a tactile experience playing a video game, and while there is obviously some decision-making involved in playing The Quarry, there's really not enough of it for me, and I returned it basically the same day that I bought it. So I'm gonna put this in F for fuck, why did I buy this? Sorry. If you love this game, I would love to hear why. Please explain, because I just could not figure out anything to latch onto. Next up, we have Unpacking. Unpacking is a point-and-click game about unpacking boxes and moving into different homes throughout different stages of the main character's life. I played this game for my Valentine's Day stream, and it was so fun. It's one of those games that you can finish in basically one sitting, and while it definitely is a puzzle game because things need to go in certain places, it's not so rigid to the point where certain things only have one place where they can go, which I really like. The story that unravels as you unpack the items and you learn more about the characters through the things that they own is so sweet. Also, the main character is Jewish, which whoever made that decision, I see you and I love you. I really like this game. I'm gonna put it in A for A. This game rules. Last but not least, we have Valorant. Valorant is a 5v5 FPS game where all of the characters have different specialized abilities. I hate how much I love this game. The community surrounding Valorant gets such a bad rep, and it is so understandable to see why. I do not solo queue this game. I exclusively play it with friends. But like I said earlier when I was talking about The Quarry, lately I've really been looking for a tactile video game experience where I can feel myself getting better at something. And while this is my first FPS game, I have felt myself getting better at it as I play more of it. I am still not very good. I'm only bronze 2, but I'm getting better. I think this is obviously a complete genre shift to many of the other games on this list. This is a competitive game, and I have a competitive side to me, I will not lie. As much as I really like this game, it is also fairly mentally draining. Like, one loss can ruin my night, which is terrible. And some of the randoms that play this game are just some of the most horrible people that I've ever had the misfortune of speaking to. So it can be kind of hit or miss. I'm gonna put it in B, not bad. Here's my tier list. Did I fuck it up horribly? Do you agree or disagree with me? Let me know. I would love to hear what games you guys played this year, especially which ones you would put in your S tier, so feel free to drop them in the comments down below. Don't forget to leave a like. If you didn't know, I play most of these games over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/stelllajo, where you can catch me live pretty much every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And I also have a VOD channel here on YouTube where I have my entire Stardew Valley expanded playthrough, so feel free to check that out as well. Again, big shout out to stelllajo for inspiring this video. Go check her out. I will leave her channel down below. And don't forget to subscribe. I hope you guys have a lovely end of your year, and stay tuned for my best of video coming next week. And until then, I will see you around. See ya!